on. Let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1. We're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around there. Sexy Rexy, yibbida, folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front. Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be. Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has. And it's Wilco with a nose in front as we come through to complete the lap. Sideorg, our winner from last week and championship leader, King in there as well. And don't tell me Wilco could have gone from 1st to 3rd in a matter of corners here, Bob. I reckon he's lost the lead and he could be down to 3rd by the end of the opening lap.
Yep, loud and clear.
Oh, that's good.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching right around the world. It's round 2 of the Nissan GTR Series 4, Season 5 of KRL here at Donington Park, where we were last night for the GT3 Championship. And you join us at a perfect time. In fact, we're a couple of minutes into qualifying here. And if you're new to KRL, or this season in particular, the Nissan GTR Series, we've got a 10-minute qualifying session followed by a 50-minute race, 1 mandatory pit stop for fuel. And if you want tyres, it's like getting extra avocado on your sandwich at Subway. It's going to be an extra 5 seconds on top of that. But it's without wasting any further time, I should say, I'm going to welcome the rest of my commentary team. And boy, it's a marvellous looking lineup we've got here today as we see Norm just pull off the racing line there to let the German rifle Gavea come through. I welcome Chuck Nigerian Prince Norris, the man who does not turn on his shower. He simply looks at it until it starts crying. Nigerian Prince, good evening to you.
Holy God. Yeah, good evening. That was holy shit. I just cost the ball for a minute.
And alongside him is the man from Carrum Downs. He's happy with the AFL trade period, and it's the man from the Carrum Downs region out there in the eastern suburbs or wherever it is. Jason Wilkinson, very good evening to you.
Yes, hello. Another night here on KRL. We had a ripper night last night. We've had the man in P2 at the moment, Lewis, take the win as a Pro-Am driver, so he absolutely dominated. But he's got some competition tonight. You got Gavea, you got the 2 German brothers are here tonight. I'm sure you're going to have Rex be up there again. Mickey's looking good, Sideways Polka looking good so far. And of course you got your usual Sidog, and there's a couple of people who keep joining and leaving. I think they're having some connection issues, but yeah, should be a fun night. These Nissan GTRs are a little bit slower than the GT3.
Certainly, as the One Make Series, of course, here, round 2, Donington Park. And what a circuit it is here tonight as we see HC Lewis just getting a little bit sideways there. And speaking of sideways, he's in 3rd position so far, a 28.212, as we see Norm jump up the timing sheets there, a 28.212. And let's see if he'll be saying Auf Wiedersehen to some German sausage up there in P1. But Sideorg now, in his Gran Turismo 4 livery, jumps to the top of the timing sheets. Chuck Norris, have we got you there now?
Yeah, I'm alive there, yeah.
And, well, that's a good start, but a 28.145. Are we going to see anything quicker than that, Nigerian Prince, in the last 5 minutes of this session?
Oh, it's tough to tell. I do love the look of the Gran Turismo livery. I love that ever since we saw it at Valencia in round 1, but goddamn, Trevor, it's bloody close up the top. I think we've got a good contender here, or a good few contenders, you might say, that might pull Sideorg off that pedestal that he put himself up onto at Valencia.
Let's wait and see. He did
Oh,
not.
Gaveia's up here.
Gavea, let's have a look at this German rifle enter the Melbourne hairpin. And a couple of corners to go in this lap. What is the delta, please, Jason Wilkinson? Is it he's up on this lap?
Yeah, he's just hovering around 3/10 up at the moment. So we'll see what he does through this. Actually, nice. I didn't realise it's actually quite uphill going into the apex there, so it's a bit off camber, which is nice. But here he comes across 27.9. Let's find old mate Sidog. Where is he? Here he is. Here he's got traffic. He's 4/10 up, but he had traffic into the last corner. But he might. Yeah, he still gets pole so far.
Can you believe
he's got? What is the gap?
Oh, it's 1/10 of a second. I was about to say, can you believe the irony there, Wilco? That he, I'm not sure whether he got too much of a tow, but it was the brother, it was the other German brother there almost giving him a tow down the main straight, and Sidor goes to the top of the timesheets with a 27.812 with 3 minutes and some change left in this session. Who else is doing nice things? Sideways and so far with the same time.
Oh, there you go. I'm on board with Butler racing at the moment. He's 1.2 up on his time, so he's going to jump up from P17 here. So he's on a decent lap. We probably should put him around the top 10 mark, maybe just outside. 1.3 up, so let's see what he does as he crosses the line. Oh, wow, 1.3 up, and he only moved up 2 positions there. So we'll go to the next car, which is going to be Gavea. See what he's done this time. Here he is. He's matching his time at the moment, so he's going to have 2. Here, maybe he just cooled off the tyres, and he'll go again. But I'll keep flicking through and see who's up on their time.
2.5 minutes to go in this session. We've got a yellow flag out there on the far side of the circuit. Guess it depends which way you look at it, but he goes across the line. Cannot improve, Gavea. So the German rifle needs to reload and fire another shot here in qualifying as there's a yellow flag.
Rexy's up on his time.
As let's have a look.
Rexy's 4/10 up here.
Sexy Rexy, what can he do across the line? He goes up into third with his rainbow paddle pop. That is a fantastic effort from him in the 46 Nissan. Of course, they are all Nissans in the field, of course. Oh, bit of sideways movement there. And I bet that's something that the Aussies wouldn't mind at the World Cup at the moment. A bit of sideways movement off the deck as Spawn is just getting out of the way there. HC Lewis, you'll be proud we know it across the line. He's on the second row of the grid, but Jason Wilkinson, multiple champion of KRL. Where can you see some of the bigger movers and shakers before the end of this session in the last 90 seconds here tonight?
Let's have a look. Oshwiz is going to jump up, and Norm, you'd expect them to jump up the field. Nismo down the bottom there in P16. What's he doing? He just crossed the line now, so he's going to be... He might have just missed out. He might be the last car to... or first car to cross the line here. But yeah, you got Nismo, Beaky just behind, and Butler. So those three going through the first little few corners there, they're going to be the first cars to finish the qualifying session. Everyone else will have their last lap now.
As less than a minute remaining now, and 9 people
Sidog
watching the stream. Sidog, where is he? He's coming around the final corner. Plenty of traffic around. The drivers will get another run there. Kilroy going off into the grass as Sidor comes across the line. And has he improved? I think he has. 27.6.
Yep, 2/10.
3-2, and is he easing off? Is he going for another run, or is that going to be all she wrote for Sidog tonight? We'll wait and see. He's still going. A little engine that could. He is still pushing on. And how's your day been? Get your comments coming in. What's everyone being all shy for? We like to interact with people, and that is part of the magic here at KRL. As who else have we got now? Final seconds of this session. Sidog is leading that
so
pack,
we'll go to Nismo. So Nismo going into the last corner. He's going to be the first car. He's just going to miss out on another lap, but he's half a second up, 6/10 up, 7/10 up, so he found a lot of time. Where is he going to put him up to? He stayed in P16, so 29.9, so not too bad. We'll see Jimbo's the next car across the line. I'm going to change camera here and drew this in order. So Jimbo's next car across the line. He jumps up ahead of Beaky. Card 666 next is Exorcist through the last corner. I'm not sure if he's up now, so I've gone out of that camera, and then Gavea's right behind him. So let's jump over with Gavea.
Let's see what Gavea can
do.
Improves, but not enough, Wilco.
Norm up to P3. 3. There we go. And then you got Sidog coming through the last corner again. I'm not sure if he is up. We'll find out in 3, 2, 1. No, he's not. Rexy just behind. Rexy
Ooh,
up to
Rex.
P3. So next is Vibesy. Cutting in P15 there.
Vibesy, let's see what he can do. As he comes across the line, what is he going to be able to do?
No. And kick it and rip it, or kick and rip it, but like you said last week, he's up to P14. And Sophie King, where is he? He's in P6. Mickey just picked him for P6 there at the end. And that should be everyone there, Trev. There you go. There's the grid.
It. And Geordie, this should be called the Bingerling Series, designed by my Bingerling. I want you to play with my Bingerling. Return to garage. I had the voice of Jason Wilkinson in my head just then saying, Trev, return to garage so we can see those results. There they are on your screen. Welcome, Geordie. But it is Sidorg on pole position. A few familiar faces there. Then it's the German rifle. Fresh from the eastern front, getting it onto the first row of the grid. Then Sexy Rexy, yibbida yibbida. And he's kissing fish there. He'll be happy with that, in fact, because he's displaced Norm up there on the second row of the grid. Norm in fourth and the rest of them. And I'd like to get Nigerian Prince's thoughts before we go to the start of the race. But before I do, he dropped an absolute ripper of his new album, of course, just coming out today. and the Prince, if you mind,
Loud and proud, baby. Loud and proud. Put it up there. I need to hear that. Turn it up.
Oh, there we go. But thank you for that. Oh, it's playing again. Hang on a second. Just keeps playing, doesn't it? But hang on, wait. Heaven and the Nigerian Prince, but there we go. We'll get rid of that before we get done for copyright. But we have a formation lap, which I hear you ask is quite common, isn't it, before the start of these races? But sometimes we have a short formation lap. But tonight we've got a full formation lap. But before we do that, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors, which is just Andrelli's magnificent KRL intro. Then we'll be back with the start of the race. It's round 2, Nissan GTR, and fantastic stuff. Stick around, we'll be back with the start of the race right after this.
Come on, let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1, we're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around the Sexy Rexy, yibbida yibbida, folks, down there in fourth, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front. Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be. Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has. And it's Wilco with a nose in front as we come through to complete the lap. Sidorg, our winner from last week and championship leader, King in there as well. And don't tell me Wilco could have gone from first to third in a matter of corners here, Bob. I reckon he's lost the lead, and he could be down to third by the end of the opening lap.
If he doesn't talk to you, then that's fair enough.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Great work there as JJ Penguin has jumped in. He says, awesome intro. And I said, you're pretty awesome yourself. He goes, no, you are. Stop it. No, you are. Get a room, man, etc., etc. No, you stop first. And the time is ticking down. 10 seconds. And 10 seconds from race control.
Oh.
I went.
Lewis is down in P19.
And what's happened there with?
He must have dropped out, and he's loaded back in to put him last. I just seen that then.
And we've heard from Lewis there. He says, my controls glitched out and I had to quickly reset everything. Now I'm starting from the back. So there we have it. Not sure why he would talk in that voice.
That's not very New Zealand accent of you, Trev.
No. Oh, my controls glitched out and I had to quickly reset everything. Now I'm starting from the back. Holy shit. And there we have it. That's terrible to hear. Always sounds a little bit overdone, that, but we see the drivers pulling away now from their starting grid positions. And Jason Wilkinson, I'd love to get your thoughts on this one, because having been out there and going through this formation lap, what are you trying to do on the formation lap? How are you feeling coming around for the start of the race? Is it a matter of getting those tyres up to temperature and just getting a feel for things before the lights go out?
Yes, it is. So, it's all about pumping the brake. And, oh, look at you go. So it's all about pumping those brakes and getting some heat in the brakes, which of course heats the carcass of the tyre up, which then gets those pressures up a little bit faster than it would be if you were sort of just weaving. So weaving on this game is really a big thing. It's all about getting that carcass temperature, and that's all they're going to be doing here. Pumping that brake, try and get that pressure up as much as they can. They're not going to be perfect, doesn't matter how much you do it. They're never going to be perfect for lap 1. So with this new update, old update now I guess, the tyres take a few laps to sort of get up. So it's just maximise the first lap by having a little bit higher pressure than everyone else around you. You might be able to forward and have a bit more car control. But it's all about just trying to get those brakes heated up, which, as I said, heats up the tyres.
Great stuff as we see Megan Markle there, and you can see they're warming up those tyres coming.
Just took that tyre barrier out straight away. It's nice.
Yes,
let's go in the comments, guys. Get your comments in. Get your predictions. Who's going to win tonight? I said we can set up. I don't know, Voodoo. Is there something you can do, like when you can just hand out 500 kid coins or anything? I don't know. We'll work out something. But get your predictions in, boys. We can do a poll, I guess. But
we could set up a gamble.
That sounds very Nigerian steal my money Prince style, but yeah, let's do it.
Everyone can vote on things. I'll put a couple of options in.
Yeah, but also get your comments just to secure it right now into the stream right now. Who's going to win? Got all these white cars there, the white numbers are the pro drivers, silver pro AMs, red the AMs. Trev, take away the start of the race.
Let's go. I'm still Googling to try and find out what a gamba is, but we're almost ready to go here, ladies and gentlemen. 50 minutes of pure racing Nissan GTR action, and it all starts now. We are away. Sidorg leads the way as you'd expect, but he's got Gavea, the German rifle, right up behind him. Sexy Rexy trying to go down the inside of turn 1, and we can see not too many incidents. It looks like everybody, fingers crossed, touch wood. That was me touching wood, getting away cleanly there with no real incidents there to speak of as we head through lap 1. Zoom, 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 zoom. And the timing screen's doing what they do best, but Sidorg leads. You can see it on your screen. And he just performed a masterclass last week, but this time around he's got Gavea right behind him here as we continue to go through lap 1. And it looks like so far so good. Nigerian Prince Chuck Norris, everybody away cleanly on the opening lap.
Yeah, so far everyone getting away nice and cleanly. As I throw in a bit of a prediction that you can use your channel points for. You've got options between Sidorg, Gavea, Rex Buckingham, or other. So be sure to get your predictions in. But this one, just getting started as we head into the first chicane. Hopefully everyone gets away cleanly.
Through the chicane for the first time down to the Melbourne hairpin. Gavea having a look. But that's all he can do for the time being. We're just on the opening lap of this race. You can't win the race on the opening lap, but you certainly can lose it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But
an incident down the back here.
And there's an incident down the back. We're going to see who that is in just a moment. Somebody down there at the hairpin, I think, Wilco, is...
Butler.
Let's have a look. And Butler now.
Sorry, yeah, Butler's around. And now Vibesy.
So Butler's around.
Someone else in each other at the back there.
So Vibesy and Butler there. That bonnet looked a bit worse for wear there. Vibesy, as you can see, he's got some damage there. He's in a huge pack of cars at the moment through the opening lap into lap 2 now of this race. 50 minutes and 200 kit coins on Sideorg. And JJ saying, holy shit, I just did a PB in the V8 on iRacing while listening. And that is fantastic stuff. But 9 minutes in on the prediction. Use your channel points if you wish to gamble. Win or lose, get involved, gamble responsibly. Think of what you could be spending those coins on. You could be feeding the family or feeding the kids. Or you could be spending it watching this, because that's absolutely magnificent. And the German rifle has got the fastest lap, and he is not giving an inch of that rifle, and he's fully cocked with his rifle, and he's ready to fire here down into the hairpin, Wilco.
Yes, he is. Hasn't made a move yet. He's sort of, you said, we saw Simon last week just pull away and say sayonara, and win quite comfortably in the wet race last week. But Gavea, who was battling, who was he battling? He was battling someone last week. So yeah, now we've got these two having a straight out fight. Rexy sort of just behind. Lewis from P19's up to P12. Beaky's just got spun around, I think, when Spawn's letting him go back through. So yeah, there must have been an incident there. But yeah, it's all hot and sweaty at the moment, Trev.
It certainly is. I'm sweating like a dog in a Chinese restaurant waiting for this, because, oh, somebody running wide there, Spawn racing. I had to crack the window open in the commentary box because I am literally sweating at my ass off at the moment, and an extreme picture of fitness that I am. And there, that's right, as Beaky there, as there was an incident between Beaky and Vibesy, I think, was it? Beaky, Spawn, I beg your pardon, but Beaky on the goon bags last night down there in Kooringal, and he's had all day to sober up, so there's no real excuse there for him, but that's a little bit of personal information for you. But Beaky there, well down the field. Sideorg still has the German rifle for company, and that German rifle is not saying sayonara because he's German, of course, and not Japanese. But enough about that, because we've got a move coming in down to the hairpin. He's getting closer and closer. And is that a passing opportunity there, Nigerian Prince? If you can get a good run there coming out of the chicane. Has he got another opportunity here, Prince, to go through on the last corner, or is he going to set him up for a move coming across the line into lap 3? As we've got a yellow flag out for something, but I think it's down there at the hairpin.
Yeah,
we'll keep an eye out for that.
Kilroy's been spun around now. So there's a few little incidents tonight, which isn't great. There's a few damaged GTRs already, but everyone's still pointing in the right direction at the moment, so we'll see how that all pans out.
Well, let's wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only 5 minutes into this race. 45 minutes. We've got a mandatory pit stop. Geordie and JJ. And getting amongst it in the chat. Let us know your prediction, of course. Would that be a conflict of interest if I managed to spend those points? And not sure how to do that. But anyway, we'll get out of that for the time being, because this is where it's at the moment. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And you can see the drivers there. HC Lewis, what happened to him? He's well down the field, Wilco, in the opening couple of laps. They're battling with Norm now.
Yeah, well, remember he started last, so he's actually gone up a few positions there. So I'm trying to find where he is. There he is there, so he's just behind Norm. So yeah, it's up to P9, which is, what's that, 3 laps he's gone from P19 to P9. So we're going to driver of the day vote going later in the race too. So we're just a democracy, Trevor. Everyone's voting for us.
Yes, and we know all about that much better. He's trying to make out it's a democracy. Have you heard this, Chuck Norris? And he just makes the decisions, doesn't he, this man, and we go along with it. But no, we have a very democratic vote happening at the moment. Those coins are getting spent wisely, but here's a good battle. We've got Vimesy in a Jimbo Jones sandwich, and Jimbo Jones, of course, our 250th follower on the channel tonight. And was that a bit of a nudge there from the Exorcist? And now Vibes is in an awkward position here, isn't he? I think that Jimbo, or sorry, the Exorcist is waiting to readdress there, Wilco. But a little bit of a nudge there going through the final corner.
Yeah, I don't think Vibesy asked for an exorcism there, but he got one for free.
He certainly did, and you can see there, all expenses paid, just like Ed and Lorraine Warren at the Amityville Horror House. As Cameron knows what I'm talking about, and we've got to get Cameron to, maybe not this week, given recent events, Cam, but we need to get you across for the Beechworth Asylum tour. They do a 90-minute paranormal investigation. That's right, for real life, and maybe we can do that on the stream. But digressing once again, because this battle at the front is heating up here again, and they're pulling away quicker than you can look at them, but you can see that gap now visually is starting to grow down to sofa king size down there. Next year you better be ready for the Asylum tour. We're going to be live streaming that as well, and we can do our 1,000th follower special there next year when Cam comes over to Victoria. And you can see these two checking out at the front, and boy, they are checking out at a very rapid pace, aren't they, Wilco? 8.3 seconds now.
Yeah, so Rexy was in Sofa King, so obviously there might have been a little touch-up, or maybe Sofa King's passed him and sort of, you can see he's pulling at the moment. So it's a nice hot battle for the Pro-Am honours there. So obviously Sofa King was talking last night, he missed P4 overall, and he was saying, I really wanted an overall podium, and at the moment he's in those, he's in that position. So we'll see where we are in 41 minutes time, if he's still there. But I'll tell you what, Rexy's got a little train behind him here. He's right under pressure.
Let's have a look at the rainbow livery there, and you can see that he's in P4. He's got sideways right behind him there. He's got Important Nick, and right there behind him, and I'm Mortan Nick. And
let's call him Nick, mate, to make it easier.
Norm there as well. They keep us on our toes here in the commentary box, but it's very much a train at the moment. And we've got Norm and Megan Markle, and then HC Lewis as well down there in 9th. Kick It and Rip It, which I called him another name last week. He's just inside the top 10. Nismo in 11th, and Auschwitz, and the Germans got Kilroy for company here at the moment. And I don't think if he's just going to make a move here, if he can get a good exit here, Chuck Norris, it looks like he could be sending Auschwitz to the cooler here, coming through turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1 is a good opportunity, but I feel like the better opportunities come in those final 2 corners. But Kilroy, though, he's looking the goods. I also just want to say, last week for the Nissan Series, we saw Beaky running a podium, for Am, sorry. He was running a podium, and on that last lap, he had a wheel issue. So he's provisionally on the podium. Hopefully no disconnects with the wheel on the last lap or any point during this race, because I'd love to have him in the commentary box at the end of this one to hear his story.
And it would be great. Everybody has a story, 6 billion stories and counting, and none are more important here than the story of tonight, which is just getting a little bit lost there in the wilderness there. I'm not sure what's going on, but lap 6 of this race, if you are just joining us, let's have a recap, if you don't mind. Gavea still keeping Simon Bishop honest.
Oh, Mickey's around.
And Mickey... Nick and Mick. Nick and Mick. And whereabouts are they, please? Let's have a look here.
Just need Paddywhack to join, and we've got a...
Knick-knack, Paddywhack.
So...
My old man is a rolling stone. Remember the joke from... and yes, that's the one. The great skull.
Karaoke. They're dusting him off. They're nearly ready for karaoke season, aren't we?
Yeah.
So much, I can't wait.
You heard Nemo. No, we're not. We did hear from Nemo last night, but I was about to say that they're not only dusting off Nemo, but they're going to. Who said it? Was it you, Chuck Norris, about defrosting Mariah Carey and Michael Bublé?
Oh yeah, defrosting Mariah Carey.
She's
on defrost.
Oh dear, what did they? Oh yes, did you watch the KRL stream tonight? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, Dad. And what did they talk about? Oh, defrosting Mariah Carey just in time for Christmas. And that's interesting. But 38.5 minutes remaining in this one, and Important Nick, as we're going to call him in the 711. What's going on with him? This is just as bad as the shower joke to start things off for the evening. But Jimbo Jones, now what can we see about Jimbo Jones here? He's our 250th follower. He's out there on track, Chuck Norris, and he's all on his own. It looks like the side of that car's been sandblasted at some point during the race, but he's keeping himself, he's keeping his nose clean, the front of the car anyway, and he's not doing too badly tonight as we focus on those at the lower end of the field here.
Yeah, he's definitely not doing too bad, and given that he's on a controller at the moment too, he's doing really, really well. Unfortunately, he's run into a couple of little mishaps over the start of this race, but you know, he's still putting in some good pace. He's holding P2 in AM at the moment, and I don't know, he looks like he's clawing to the guys in front, and likewise the guys behind are slowly clawing onto him. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a battle that we need to keep our eyes on.
We're going to have to keep an eye on that, and he's the sort of person, Jimbo Jones, that'll be asking himself plenty of questions out there. Can he get inside the top 10? One thing I can't stand is when someone answers their own questions. I certainly hate that, but I just did it then, I think. But let's have a look at the front now, because Gavea and Sidorg, what is going through the mind of Sidorg at the moment? Simon Bishop, we know he's good in a crisis, Cameron, but surely this has got to be testing every ounce of patience, and he's getting, he's going to be very easy. You can see him in his mirrors. What's the plan? Does he just have to focus on what's in front of him and forget about that German rifle back there?
Yeah, I mean, trying to keep your eyes off the mirror is probably a little bit hard with these big chungus Nissans in the background, but I just want to question, Wilco, you might be able to see this a little bit better than what I can. Does Sidorg have a little bit of damage on the rear of the car? Because it looks like there's just a little bit of paint scraping, almost like he's got a bit of damage, but my eyes could just be perceiving different things, but if you can clarify that one for me, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'm watching you now. It doesn't seem to be on my camera.
Might just be my eyes.
Yeah, posso. But I was just about to say, Trevor, we might go on board with Sidorg. Hit that R1 button to be on the passenger cam, and then hit triangle 3 times. You get the rear view camera, and you can see right behind him, and beautiful Nissan just singing around Donington.
We do apologise there. I briefly went back to my my homepage, or whatever you like to call it, but
wait.
And now we're on board here with Sidorg. And look, can we get a better view? Is this the view you were after there? As JJ Matterford, lick the stamp and send it, he says. Welcome to you. And as Matterford.
Bit of KRL royalty there, Trev. You got there in the. You know that man that I beat him in the last lap at Imola.
On the last lap, who can forget?
Yeah, that was when I licked the stamp and sent it on him. Yeah, there you go.
Sorry,
so if you triangle a couple of times, Trev, then you'll go to the rear view camera.
Sorry, I just want to jump in for a brief moment. Madford's actually been doing really good for himself recently on PC. He actually went and competed in the Motorsport Australia GT3 Cup on ACC. That kind of just finished up maybe a week or 2 ago, but I did see that he was putting in a killer performance during that series, so congratulations for making it as far as you did and putting in those times.
I got fastest lap too.
Look at you go.
But that is a fantastic rep there from Cam, but don't let that distract you from the fact that he blew a lead on the last lap at Imola and got passed by Wilco and lost the race. But no, that's fantastic stuff.
Good stuff, Matty.
Yeah, good stuff. And salty Wilco there showing his rearing his head once again. But look at this. You can see that gap is nothing. It is literally just a raccoon's whisker there, Cam. Back to Gavea there. And he's just biding his time, isn't he? And looking to cool those tyres down, keep things nice and calm and cool. And Matterford saying, one day, Wilco, you're going to have a rematch together.
Yeah, when I get on PC land. Or you get a PS5. One or the other, mate.
Ooh, and somebody
race.
coming out of the pits there. As we jump back on board, Nismo, we might get back to the garage and see what's happening there. The gap's still less than a second. And don't forget about Megan Markle there too, with HC Lewis. And you can see HC Lewis there just ahead of him in the Pro-Am class. And what other battles are happening there? Nick as well, I think, behind Kilroy.
There's a good battle with Spawn at the moment. Spawn, Jimbo, and Vibesy all within a 10th. Well, not a 10th, sorry, a second. I got my words mixed up.
And you certainly could throw some, you could throw a box of tenders over these three. Look at them, Jimbo, Spawn and Vibesy there, along with the Exorcist. And wasn't that a pretty scary movie? I'm not sure whether you've seen the original Cam, but absolutely not something you can watch in the dark without the lights on, sitting by your own. Oh my goodness, and Spawn has almost had a moment there. And is that going to keep Vibesy interested here?
Yeah, it's just keeping him in. He was actually lucky. Normally when you drop the car there, sometimes you run into the unfortunate circumstance of it decides to kick you off to the right. So although he lost a little bit of time and Vibes, he's right up to Clacker now. He's fortunate enough to still be facing in the right direction. So this is a good battle. They are dropping off Jimbo though. They've dropped, what, about 1.3 seconds or so at the moment. So Jimbo getting a little bit of fresh air.
That's all right, I'm okay. Just putting an air fryer recipe there in the chat, but anyway, we've got 32 minutes remaining, and somebody's off at the back part of the circuit. We're just going to wait and see who that is. Is it? No, it's not Nick. He's still very much... and I think that person's back into the pits. I think it might have been Beaky.
Yeah. Oh no, Beaky.
And he will be getting the goon bag ready, because is he out at this race, Wilco? That is disastrous for the Frank Ganastasian.
Yeah. Yes, definitely, yeah, disappointing there. He's out. He might jump in the comments in a moment and say he needs to crack open another goon bag and go again next week.
Let's have a look at that. He's a little bit classy there. Something for your Thursday night, Beaky. Just to go down to Dan Murphy's and see those specials, as we see Vibesy and Spawn ahead of them, and then it's the Exorcist 666, and you can see there this battle showing no signs of letting up, as Manafort says just go to KFC for your chicken tenders. Not quite sure whether that's the way to go, or Steggles. And
Jimbo's off.
And Jimbo Jones also off the track here. We'll wait and see whether he can gather it all together. Can he? Indeed he can. But now that's going to put him under a lot of pressure from the chasing pack. Spawn, Vibesy and the Exorcist. And KRL Thursday night special, tenders in a goon bag, $9.95. And 2 for 1 if you get in. Nice ad early there. Love it, JJ Penguin. And now we've got 30 minutes left in this race. When can we start to talk pit stops, gentlemen? Is that a little bit later on in proceedings? Are we too early to go with pit stop strategy at the moment?
No, we've already had some people make their stops, so it'll be coming around this sort of this time. So you'll be we're 20 minutes into the race, 30 minutes to go, so sort of 10-minute window where most of the guys are going to jump in and get some fresh boots potentially. I think it's definitely, by the way everyone's sliding around, I think new tyres are going to be a must around here. But yeah, I'm just looking at these battles, and there's fronts. Obviously you got the front two are sort of together, but Dover King, Rex, Norm, they're sort of, and Lewis, they're all, you know, a few seconds apart of each other. So maybe after the pit stops, those guys might sort of, you know, come back together and have a nice battle. But
speaking of battles, Sideways, Polka and Nismo, I think has Sideways got that move done there. I think Cam, he was going through the chicane. They were side by side. And I think Sideways might have got that move done there ahead of Nismo. And up into P15 at the moment. So kick it and rip it further down the field along with Butler.
They're the first ones of the pit stops, though, those ones. So you see the green box name. They, yeah, they're the first guys to do their stops. So it's sort of, you come out a lap down, you probably lose just over a lap doing a pit stop here. So it's sort of a bit awkward for a few of these guys trying to get out the way. But of course, tyres and the cars around, so we're going to have a bit of pace too.
Tyres, of course.
Might be worth everyone pitting early.
Optional extra for the tyres. 25-second fixed stop there as we see Sideways. Very nice move indeed. We'll get back to the front. Gavea not giving Side Org an inch here at the moment. And you can see they're still very close, that battle. And they have checked out, haven't they, these boys? And 40 to 45 seconds we're hearing from the South Australian Prince there with the stop in the pit lane here. So that is quite a big loss of time. But of course, everyone's got to do it. As you can see, Sofa King, I haven't called his name too much tonight, but I'm not seeing a lot wrong with that 85 Nissan there, and he's just biding his time at the moment and doing very nicely there in P3. And Sexy Rexy, how far behind is he? And that battle at the front, Wilco, is getting very, very close, isn't it? In fact, it's getting more than close. They're side by side here through the final corner. And how is this going to end? 2 went into 1 on that occasion, but we'll see them side by side once again across the start-finish straight and into the first corner. Can Gavea keep it down the inside against Simon? It's all very clean for the time being. Look at this. Oh, you couldn't fit anything between those two there on that occasion. And there's another bit of a nudge there and a little bit of argy-bargy there at the moment. But Simon has to concede. But Gavea just not letting up on that occasion, Wilco, and getting the move done up into P1.
Yeah, it was good hard racing there into turn 1. A little bit of, but of course they're in the boats, Trev. So these cars get. But yeah, that's I'm not sure. I didn't see what happened in the last corner there. Maybe did Simon make a mistake, or was Gavea sort of just have big balls and sort of centered? You can see a few guys starting to do their pit stops now. So
we've got pit stops. We've got pit stops.
Yeah, so we do know Simon last night in the GT was sort of tyres started to go off. I wonder if that's the same thing is happening. We'll see. Maybe he might jump in the pits right now, unless he's going to make a move. Hairpin here, which is he's going to try the outside. Here we go.
Here we go, down through the Melbourne hairpin. He's trying to hang it around the outside. I don't think he's going to have too much success there, Wilco, I don't believe. I think he just went out a little bit too wide on that occasion. But Simon not giving this one up easily. And the Gran Turismo champion at the moment as Gavea diving into the pits. You said this would potentially happen, Wilco, and now we're starting to see the drivers come in for their one and only mandatory pit stop here tonight. And Beaky still in the pit lane there looking for his goon bag along with Jimbo Jones and Spawn. And that's is Seidel going for the overcut here. We'll wait and see, or the undercut in fact.
He didn't really have a choice because Gavea was in front of him. He'll probably pit this next lap. And he actually, what I'll be doing in this situation is I'll be either looking on the stream or looking on the track map and seeing where Gavea comes out. So if he comes out in traffic, I'll then stay out for a couple laps till those traffic cars pit. But if he comes out in clear air, which he might come out in clear air here, it's sort of hard. Yeah, okay, he's dropping now. So yeah, I'll be pitting this lap now.
Let's see Gavea coming out of the pits. Let's see what the German can do. 50 kilometres. That exit to the pit lane there, so you can't go over that. He comes out and he's in some very clear air here, Wilco, isn't he? So this is not a bad result for Gavea. The German rifle coming out, and he's got a clear track in front of him. Now, what's Seidel going to do? We've gone back to Seidel. Let's see if Simon's going to come into the pits this time around. And I reckon he's got to reply, doesn't he? He's got to come in. Is he surely he's going to come in this lap?
So
no, he's not.
I think what he's going to do is he's going to try and go a few more laps and then try and hope that the fresh tyres at the end is going to be what saves him. So don't be surprised if he comes out in P2. Obviously Gavea would have cold tyres at the moment, so Simon might be making time on him for this lap, but I think by the end of this next lap, Gavea's tyres will start to sort of fire up and he'll start putting in some fast time. So I can keep an eye on the time and we'll see. But yeah, I think Seidel's going to be coming out of the pits in P2 here, and he's going to hope to have fresh tyres to take it to him in the last few laps, Trev.
Well, he's got a little bit of a buffer there, doesn't he, too, Wilco? 16 seconds, of course, back to Sofa King as we see Norm, HC Lewis and Nick also in the pits, and you can see JJ there just saying that they got so close that their tenders got squashed and their goon bag got popped. They were that close, and Seidel just took the purple lap. Last time around, he's got some pace now, Simon Bishop, because he's got the fastest lap of the race. And Matterford is just explaining to us, build that gap for 2 laps, then pit and profit off of Gavea's slow out lap. Could that be the strategy, ladies and gentlemen? Get those comments coming in, and we'd love to hear from you. Let's have a look then. 23 minutes remaining in this race, and he's still staying out. Sofa King there. So he's continuing on, isn't he?
So he did a 1:28.3 that lap, so 4 tenths off his best, which is 27.9 is the PB lap, and obviously that's his lap. If I then go and look at Gouveia, so obviously this lap is going to be a, well, this will be his first, that's Jimbo, that's not Gouveia. Where is he? This will be his first proper lap he's starting now, so we'll have a look in about a minute and a half time. He's coming up to Jimbo, a bit of traffic here, so hopefully Jimbo gets out of the way.
Let's have a look then. Norm as well, having a good battle with Sexy, Rexy, Yibbita Yibbita. And JJ saying the overcut will work here. Thank you for that, JJ Penguin 86. Great to have you with us. And absolutely fantastic evening of racing. We saw a good race last night of the GT3s, and we're getting it here tonight. It's going to be Sofa King close as he's into the pit lane. Keep thinking of beds when I talk about him, but he's in the pit lane there. He'll be coming out very shortly, and as Jimbo Jones jumped out of the way, I think he has, Wilco.
Yep.
And now Gouveia's through there, back into clear air, and he's off in pursuit of the top two here at the moment.
Yeah, so just a quick one. I've just checked the fastest lap. So as I said, Simon's 1:27.910. Gouveia's fastest lap is a 1:27.970. So those guys pace. So Simon looks like he's in the pits now. So Gouveia's going up into the top of the track there. He's 2 seconds up on his best, which will be his last lap. So obviously the delta goes a bit funny for the first lap until he's set a lap after his pit stop. So we'll see. It's going to be what? Once Simon comes to stop, which it looks like he is now, it's going to be 30 seconds now, and there's okay. It's going to be very close. It's going to be very close.
It's going to be very close indeed, as you can see. Oh, Sexy Rexy there, side by side with Norman Gouveia.
Oh.
Gouveia, Donkov.
Well, there you go.
He's got a drive-through penalty, and Cameron Norris, 35 seconds. That's just the disappointing part about that, Cam, is it was really the main spectacle, wasn't it, up front for this race, and how disappointing Gouveia's got a drive-through penalty.
We're not done yet. We know Simon is coming out of the pits now. He might have a penalty. Here we go. No, he doesn't. So, okay, so Simon should be...
Yeah, Gouveia's was track limits most likely in that chicane, because I did see him on the cameras, we were watching the battle. I did see him at least get 1 track warning minimum, possibly 2, while we were on view with him when he was going into the chicane. So very unfortunate for Gouveia, and very unfortunate for my gambling bet too. So, gamble responsibly, people.
Yeah, just think of what you could be buying. You could be buying anything other than spending those coins.
Apparently now cryptocurrency, are they?
We'll list them on the stock exchange, but wow, Penguin there saying that's absolutely brutal, but the positive, the silver lining, the cloud and the silver lining is that at least it's a short pit lane, but...
he's only lost 20 seconds.
Yeah,
but he's 18 seconds behind
the only issue is his Sidehawk's possibly got those fresher tyres too as well, so that's also going to be an issue, isn't it, in the final 20 minutes or so. Sofa King, and this is a little interesting battle here. Norm there in third, third on the track, I should say. Sexy Rexy there behind him, and then it's Sofa King, who's looking very, very racy here, but he's got Rexy to deal with here, Cam Norris, as they come through that chicane there at the back end of the circuit before the hairpin. But I've got to say, just from looking at some of these drivers, they have been pushing the limits, haven't they, Cam, in that chicane? So it's no surprise that the stewards have finally dished out a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, 100%. I wish the stewards would, like they're dishing out penalties, I wish they would dish me out some tenders the same way. But yeah, this battle though, it's just kicking on, and unfortunately, it's just Donington Park. It's a run-of-the-mill going through that chicane every lap for 50 minutes. You don't know whether you're going to get a track warning on the other side or not. So yeah, some of these drivers, they might be sitting on their second or even possibly third and final warning coming up. So hopefully not, fingers crossed. But Gouveia though, he's 18.2 seconds down, and the time he lost in pit lane, he would have currently been P1 by give or take about a second, as this is kicking on between Sofa and Rex.
And you can see Sofa and Rex. He's managed to get through, but it just doesn't look like Sexy Rexy's got much to answer with here at the moment. He's down there now in P5 at the end of all of that, but still with 18 minutes to go in this race. What else is going to happen here? You can see Gavea, and it's going to be mighty, mighty difficult for him now to cut that gap. 18 minutes remaining, 18 seconds, and I think Nigerian Prince there, Rex, opted not to fix the car. You can still see the damage, so that is going to be very costly. And Mark Ledwidge down there in P6 as well, 6.6 seconds further back. And so can he stay ahead of Mark down there in P6? HC Lewis, let's have a look what other battles are happening there. Beaky, we lost him 10 laps ago. He's currently in the pits there, and he is not going anywhere except checking out the Donington sunset here. And then it's Sideways Polka further down the field. He'll be disappointed with his outing tonight down there in 18th in the Pro-Am class. And you can see Butler as well coming around. And Butler, Auschwitz, these guys a few laps off the pace, I think, Wilco, aren't they? Nismo as well, a couple of laps off there. And Jimbo Jones now down in 15th, not bad for him. Vibesy there as well with a little bit of damage on the front of that car. And then the Exorcist there doing running his own race. And you can see Spawn as well, so there's a bit of damage kicking around out there. Kick it and rip it there in 11th with a very nice looking GTR on this occasion. No real damage to speak of, just outside the top 10. Then it's Nick. Love that colour on that chrome car there. Very nice indeed. Kilroy in 9th. Auschwitz in 8th. And what's the closest battle? And Gavea chipping another 6/10 off Sidog this lap alone, Wilco.
Yeah, but I think Sidog's just managing it now, making sure it tires the end of the race. He has a moment in front of him too, so he'll be sort of just cruising now. Sidog is a ripper racer. We've obviously seen him in the GT World, partying in the Red Light District, racing on Gran Turismo. And yeah, so he should be sort of home and hose here tonight, Trev. But the next one is, Norm, Sofa King and Rex. They're the closest guys on track. And this is obviously for the overall podium and for Rex and Sofa King for the win in the Pro-Am class. So let's see how this one pans out over the next 15 minutes.
Let's just see about that, because now 15 minutes, we're getting to the business end of things here tonight. It's a 50-minute race, of course, followed very closely, or I should say before that we had the 10 minutes of qualifying and then the full formation lap. But currently on lap 22, it's Simon Bishop there. Not quite partying it up like we'd expect him to do, like he did in Amsterdam back in August. But you've got to say now he's going to have a party tonight if he can win this one. But we saw him put on a masterclass last time around, and he's doing just the same here tonight. 17 seconds is the margin, Nigerian Prince, and with 15 minutes remaining in this race, that could be a bridge too far, but still we've seen long bridges that have been covered, driven over, and still funnier things have happened here in sim racing. And Cobb McCool, well, hello to you. He says, hello, smiley boys. There's something we haven't heard for a while there, Cam, but hello to you, Cobb McCool, one of our favourites here at KRL.
Yeah, the smiley boys, that takes us all the way back to the Bathurst race, Trev, where we were admiring the front of one of the Astons that looked like a smiley boy, and I just couldn't get it out of my head.
No, I was thinking about that, and cotton candy and balloons and all sorts of other surprises down here. They all float. And where was his brother when he needed him? That's very, very sad indeed for Georgie. And I don't know any kid.
Sofa King's around.
And Sofa King's around, and he's always in a difficult position here as well. And he's spinning around Kylie Minogue style there, but he's back in the right direction. And can he get it back onto the track? I don't think he's got too much damage here, fellas, but has somebody gone through?
No, he
there?
didn't hit the wall. That was Mark gone through. He didn't hit the wall, but he actually did well coming back on there. He was full throttle for coming, and that's coming past him on the track. so he lifted off the throttle a little bit and sort of just come on nice and safely, which is very well done by him. But yeah, Mark up to P5 now, which of course is P2 in class, and Lewis now is only going to be what, so about five or so seconds behind.
Just like the car made of spaghetti,
3.
Wilco. You remember that one? Told my wife I made a car out of spaghetti. You should have seen the look on her face when I drove past her. And that's one of Skull's famous ones as well, I think. yes. Shammy's good in the wet, as Sophie King now down in 6th. Where's that video?
I think Bob Marley could soon get grass out of that.
That's fantastic stuff. We've got a baker's dozen. What a Scheisenhausen night, says Beaky. And he's finally joined us in the chat with his custom KRL emoji there. Great to have you with us, Beaky. But please show us, or tell us, I should say. You can't show us, but tell us what you're drinking tonight, Beaky, and what you're drinking and eating or smoking. All of the above down there, because we'd love to hear from you. But a very poor night for him. 12 laps down at the moment, and we've only had 24 laps of this race. But better luck next time, just like what they told Happy Gilmore when he didn't make the hockey team. Better luck next year. And Happy wasn't happy about that at all, was he? But 24 laps gone, 16.8 seconds. And just like Red Bull telling Mark Webber to manage the gap at Silverstone back in 2011 or whenever it was, I don't think that we're going to see too many more surprises here, Chuck Norris, because Simon will be just managing things. He's got the fastest lap, and he doesn't need to do anything silly out front to win this race.
Yeah, exactly. He's just got to keep his nose clean, keep himself away from those track limits, and he'll walk away with another comfortable win here. It's kind of a shame, though, because Gavea was putting up a great fight. They were having an excellent battle until they decided to jump into pit lane, and unfortunately track limit striked. But I do see Nismo back into pit lane for an unscheduled stop. No penalty
he's been
or anything.
For a couple of laps now, I think. I think he's pulled the pin as well.
As the cameraman pans around to Nismo, and he was a few laps down, wasn't he, fellas? So he's just jumped into the pit lane, so that means that the last running competitor out there is Butler here, who's he's crying. And Beaky just jumped on. Here we go. We've got an update. Beaky says just jumped on the red again. Didn't feel the car tonight. Tyre pressures were off. Wheel disconnected. These boys have had some issues with their wheels recently. And Sofa King is having a crack at someone here. I think it might be Megan Markle. Indeed he has. He's through on the inside, and boys, but Mark coming back now at Sofa King, and they touch and they make contact. And you can see they're coming into the chicane. This is going to be dangerous there.
Lewis is just behind too. This is for the second and third step on the Pro-Am class podium too. So Mark, Sofa and Lewis, and obviously Oshawa is just behind too. We're going to have a little battle here towards the end of the race.
Oh, Sofa getting his nose down the inside at the Melbourne hairpin, and that's going to set him up very nicely here through the final corner and onto the start-finish straight. He couldn't quite get it done last time around, but now they are single file through here for the time being, but I reckon we're going to see some more side-by-side action heading through turn one. We've just ticked under the 10-minute mark here as we welcome Matt Simmons, the Matt Simmons Cup. And boy, what a moment you join us with, because this is absolutely spectacular between Sofa King and HC Lewis. A little bit of lag there, but never mind about that. And zoom, zoom, look at them go. HC Lewis, zoom. HC Lewis at Auschwitz there is going to join the party, so we're going to have a grandstand finish here, Jason Wilkinson. But Beaky just having a really shit of a night there, you must say. Feeling for you, Beaky, just wasn't going to get into the other guy's way, and so close. Back to business on the track. Sofa King side by side. Look at this. Where is this going to end? You got to have a big set of balls through there, and he set it down the inside, but now and a bit of a twitch.
Lewis.
A bit of a twitch, and now Lewis is getting in there. They're all dipping their bread in it at the moment.
Yes, they are. I think Trev's blown a gasket, so I'll take over for now. Yes, so Lewis up into P6, sorry, and that P3 in the Pro-Am class, or our winner from last night. Oh, Sofa King, he's got very good drive out of the corners. He just can't place the car in the correct position here. But Mark's doing a here. He's defending all it's worth. Now we've got another, like last night where we had Matt involved in the battle where it was like P7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All those guys were close last night, and it's going to be the same thing here. P5, 6, 7, and 8. Nose to tail.
Nose to tail. That's right, I'm doing my brow. I'm okay, Matt Simmons. He says, remember, fantastic racing. Remember to breathe, Trev. Just got a little bit excited there. It all happened at once. Matt Simmons jumped into the chat, and then we had this magnificent four-way battle, if you don't mind, in the Pro-Am class there. Sexy Rexy a bit further down the road, but second, third, and fourth, all together in their respective classes here at the moment, because how good is this? HC Lewis has got, oh, and somebody, Mark just kicking up some dust there, and now Sofa King, who had that off a few laps ago, looking to make up for lost time, and Auschwitz joining the party here. He's getting towards the end of this train here at the moment, so it's not going to be too long, Chuck Norris, before we see some more fireworks here with 7.5 minutes remaining.
Oh, Lewis! Oh, Lewis! Jeez.
And some innocent tyres there going into the spectators. Let's hope the catch fencing caught those, because they're, oh, and Auschwitz down the inside of the Melbourne hairpin. Can he get a move done on Lewis? And Auschwitz sends Lewis to the cooler, and now he's got Mark in his sights. And boy, could Auschwitz be the smoky here, Cam, to spend your kid coins on tonight.
Oh, this is so tense. I don't even know where to look, to be honest. Obviously, on this part of the real estate on the track, but god damn, this is getting quite tense as we see Jimbo trying to let them go through, and does a little bit of Jim's mowing there. So Jimbo, hopefully you're writing a quote to the developers here at Donington Park for the lawn mode there. But god damn, I don't even know who we're going to be interviewing for the Pro-Am. Like, it's going to be wild. This is grandstand finish in the first
Blockbuster, this could have its own.
Around the outside, he's run wide.
Onto, I am on the grass, he says.
And
no,
Lewis.
he's spinning. I'm on the grass. Oh no! And he's back on the track now. Jesus, I don't know where to look. But gee whiz, I was about to say there's more drama than Netflix here at the moment, Cam. I reckon we can have our own 7-part KRL Drive to Survive sort of series about this, because this is absolutely magnificent. Auschwitz there onto the grass, and he would be going.
Oh, Lewis again.
And Lewis down the inside. Can he make this one stick? Auschwitz did a me, says Matt Simmons. Don't you dare put yourself down here. This is the Matt Simmons Cup, and we're excited to have you watching. Absolute bloody royalty, absolutely magnificent. Down to the Melbourne hairpin now. Once again, lap 29 of this race. HC Lewis lurking, isn't he? Sounds a little bit like Bruce, doesn't it? He's a special player, though, isn't he? And now HC Lewis and Markle through the final corner. Is that giving a chance for... no, it's not giving a chance for Megan Markle, as we've got a yellow flag there. I think that might be Butler. Butler is off the track.
Yep.
And Butler on the buses. Not on the buses, Blakey. I'll get you, Butler. Everyone's too young for that one, kid buyers. Why do you keep going with that joke, you bloody dickhead? And now with 5 minutes remaining, let's get back to the business end of things, because that battle between Lewis and Markle is heating up once again. As you can see there, it's very close.
Oh, he's
indeed.
got a run again.
He's got a good run on him
So
here.
just what happened early? Oh, there you go. Mark's just jumped out the way. He sort of said stuff that I'm not getting involved. But what happened 2 laps ago where again there, it was actually quite friendly. It was good heads-up driving by him. So he outbraked himself and was going to run up the backside of Mark. So what he did is he chose to sacrifice himself and put across the gravel there, and yeah, doing that meant that he lost his positions, but he didn't take out Mark. But obviously Mark was a bit balked because he's seen this. He would have not turned into the corner, and then Sofa King just got a beautiful run and went through, and he's off. He's now in P3 class. 4 minutes to go.
4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone 30 laps here at Donington Park. And for a track that was an abandoned World War II airfield, it's certainly absolutely putting on a show here tonight. 4 minutes. The weather, once again, has been fantastic. 22 degrees. And if you could give us an update on that wind, Cam, that would be very, very helpful. What's it doing, please, Chuck Norris?
Yeah, it's kind of makes sense as to why a couple of people are struggling in this fast right-hander that we're seeing coming up at the start of Sector 2, because the wind, 7 kilometers blowing across the car, is likely to unsteady it a little bit, and it's been catching a few drivers off, as we've been seeing.
And you can see there, don't underestimate the gusts of wind, but do never fear that, because Spawn and Vibesy now having a little battle there. They're in different classes, of course. They got very close there through the chicane on that occasion. Now down to the hairpin. Here's an opportunity, both with a slight bit of damage to the front of their respective Nissans, but Matt Simmons says he's loving the racing, and when you get a champion such as him loving the racing and putting those sorts of lovely comments in, it makes it all worthwhile. And big shout out to Matty Simmons for letting us use his hot lap, and can't wait till we race at Monza, because we'll be using a certain member of the commentary box's hot lap from there as well. But I think we worked out that...
Too bad. We might have to make a change. We'll have to make a change in the calendar to run that video. But of course, Matt's got an actual proper GTR lap around there, so I think it's a little bit fun. Yeah, Trev.
Well, I think we worked out you're only 28 seconds off of pole for the Formula One race around there or something. But no, enough about that.
No, I was going to say, if it's 28 seconds around Monza, I'll take that. I think it was 28 seconds when it was going into Scari. That's all right.
Oh, just never let the truth get in the way of a good story. But 2 minutes
Jimbo
remaining, and Jimbo is back in the pit lane, and he must have, he's having a terrible run. He must have stepped under a ladder or something, if that still gives you some bad juju, because he's in the pits now, and I think he might be done for this afternoon. Cam, he is not going anywhere, Jimbo Jones.
Yeah, it's sad to see as well, because, we've got under 2 minutes left on the clock, so, it would have only been another 2 laps, but very unfortunate to see some drivers opting to come back into pit lane. But, as we touched on a little while ago, Nismo, he came into pit lane again for an unscheduled stop, and, it's good to see him back out on the track and still circulating in a P18.
And Matt Simmons there, as we see this battle continue. Matt Simmons just saying, he says, I blame the instructor, Wilco. You would have gone faster without him. And we actually watched that video back, Matt, and we played a drinking game. Every time he said, get on the gas, on the gas, on the gas.
More gas,
more gas, more gas, more gas.
More gas.
Or break.
Just piss off and let the man do it. Just go and have some pasta or something and let his bloody multiple KRL champion. It's like of course he knows what he's doing. Mamma mia. And
over to the right for turn 1, over to the left.
Oh no, we go straight on into the wall. Oh no. Why did I sign up for this? Oh,
Mario and Luigi.
This guy's 2 feet taller than me. But so we've got seconds, literally seconds remaining, as you can see there, Simon Bishop on your screen. And we need to clip that audio from the video and make it a channel points redemption. We certainly do. I was just thinking about that, Cam. We need the more Gus. If somebody could call Gus and get him over here, that'd be fantastic. Because 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Like my bank account the day before payday, but that is the end of the race. And we are waiting for...
It's the last lap.
It's the last lap, I meant to say. You just worry about more gas.
Everyone just stop where you are. The time's up. Game over.
And there we have it. You can see there, masterclass from Simon again, says Matt Simmons. Really likes to be kicked in the nuts by yours truly, LOL. And that is all of the inspiration that he needed here tonight, because he's coming around the final few corners here. He has put on a masterclass in the pro class tonight, and nobody, after that drive-through penalty for Gavea, nobody's been able to get anywhere near this man, certainly not within touching distance of him here tonight. He put on a masterclass last week, and he's done just the same this time around.
2
from 2. He did it in Valencia, and now he's going to go back-to-back at Donington Park. He comes across the line to win here in the one-make Nissan GTR Series Matt Simmons Cup. He wins the race here tonight. Gavea, the German rifle, alongside Kicks and Pricks it, and he comes down to the final corner, but Kick it and Prickett is in the... Shut up, Wilco! Give it some gas, man! Shut up at your face! Shut up at your face! And he comes across the line, and he's across the line there. I think he was out of position there. Kick it and Rip it, but Norm now through the final corner there. And we don't have too many interesting battles here on the final lap, or do we? Because Vimesy comes across the line.
Oh.
He's a few laps down, I think, but...
Lewis.
Lewis.
He's dropped out of P6, and Mark's got a P6 now.
So,
and Rex and Sofa were quite close across the line too.
Ooh, across the line there, Sofa King. Now into the gravel. That's not what you should be doing as the flares go off here at Donington Park. And that is absolutely magnificent. Who else is out there racing on the track? Kilroy now is out there still circulating. A great result for Norm too after last night. And boy, Matt Simmons there. And praise from the very highest echelons of the sim racing world. Matt Simmons, absolutely fantastic stuff. Kilroy getting a little bit fishy with it. And then it's Kick it and Rip it.
Get
and
tricky with it.
No, there we have it. And HC Lewis there, getting a face full of yellow flag there, but now that marshal stopped doing that, and someone must have told him that there's no need for that. But there are the final results, and before Jason Wilkinson tells me to return to garage and just have a look at the...
Return the garage. Look at you go, learning how to commentate after all these years.
As you can see there, solid week, boys, says Matt Simmons. It is the Matt Simmons Cup, of course. He says, well done, everybody. Back-to-back KRL nights, and Burradog absolutely loved it, didn't he? There, what's better than one night of KRL? Oh, 2, yeah, and 2. And you can see their qualifying results there on your screen, and then you've got the race results there. So Sideorg getting the job done in 51 minutes and 4 seconds. I think that includes, of course, a bit of the formation lap there as well. But then it's Gavea 19 seconds further back. In the end, he got that drive-through penalty. Unfortunately, we believe it was for track limits, says Chuck Norris. As I've heard the ding you hear in your ears when somebody joins us in the commentary box. But we'll get to that very shortly. Rexy, sexy Rexy, and you can see the rest of them on your screen. And what's happening there? Free practice. We'll go back to the race. There's the results. I beg your pardon. And you can see Beaky, we lost him to a icy cold goon bag earlier in the evening. Nismo down there as well, 5 laps down. Butler didn't quite do what he would have liked here tonight. And then Jimbo Jones as well. But do we have people jumping in here, fellas? I think we've got them here. I think, have we got enough to take us away here for the post-race driver interviews?
Not quite. I mean, we've got everyone's jumping in now. They're everyone's taking their shoes off, their socks off, their tops off. Yeah, getting all the gear off. And I was waiting for Simon to say something about me taking my socks off.
Oh.
We were just waiting for the guys, and we can get started. So yeah, that was a good race. Another good race here at KRL. So little few incidents here and there tonight, which we'll have to have a look at. But all in all, that's 4 races and 4 pretty good races. As I just got, hang on, I've got breaking news, Trev. Ready? This is the message. Oh, good news, by the way. I can make Wednesday's race next week. I'll fly out Thursday, so I'll miss the GTR Cup still. Guess who that was from, Trev?
Oh, well, It surely isn't,
Don't
is
worry.
it?
Matt Simmons. Matt can race next week.
He's. I
That's
thought he
not stall.
would have put that in the chat there, maybe. But this, I guess, it's a bit of personal information. He doesn't want people to know where he's flying to. I'm surprised you told that
I
to
think
me.
he's a bit. I could have waited. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, we move on. We've got the guys here for the podiums. So let's start off. We'll do the same thing. Pro-Am guys first. Sorry, the Am guys first. So Kilroy, that's 2 from 2, wins 8, I think. Isn't that right? Yes. So P10 overall, mate. P1 tonight in the Am class. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, congratulations, everyone. It was busy there at the start, that's for sure. Yeah, just kind of got lucky again. I got to apologise to Ash. We said I tapped him in the rear at the hairpin there, and unfortunately didn't have anywhere to go and spun him around. But I think he got back on track all right, and I let him go. But yeah, it was a hard track to So not many opportunities to pass, is there? Yeah, but yeah, it was a good race. I kind of kept consistent. I kind of wish I maybe had taken tyres at the pit stop because I was getting a bit squirrely at the end there. But yeah, I was happy with that.
Oh, good stuff, mate. Another P1 in the M class. Another one of those, and you might be moving the Pro-Am now. I ran 4, mate. But congratulations again. We'll move over to Spawn. I think you got P2 or P3 last Spawn, didn't you? So tell us about your race.
P3 last week.
Yeah, well, there you go. So you moved up. So maybe you might knock Kilroy off the top step next week. But P12 overall, but P2 in the AM class. You sort of had vibes all over you for the last few.
Yeah, I was carrying a fair bit of damage there at the end.
Yep.
I had a bit of a rough start too. Apologies to Beaky, spun him around and readdressed at the beginning, but I think it might have been a bit of a blessing. Give me a bit of clear air and just got in the groove. And yeah, after everyone made their pit stops, just carried on.
Beautiful. Good stuff, mate. Well done. Were you streaming tonight?
Yeah, I was streaming.
Beautiful. Give your YouTube channel a plug, mate.
Oh, Spawn Racing. I'll share it in the link. It's all good.
Beautiful. There you go.
Thanks, boys.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And Exo, mate, 2 P3, or sorry, was it P2 last night or P3? But two nights in a row we're talking to you, mate. Tell us that your race, P14. You had a good little battle early on. Was all around you, but you've managed to get to P3. About it.
That was a tough race. Everybody was. That's what I like about these one make series as well, because everybody was pretty close to each other as far as lap time and things like that. But that was a great race. I had some great battles with a lot of guys, even guys in the Pro-Am, and that goes to show what the level of drivers that we have at KRL. It's just great to get out there and race with the lads every week. Everyone redresses if there's an issue. Everyone does the right thing, and just great fun all around. Love it.
That's exactly right. Everyone's been very very gentlemanly so far, which is always good to see. Makes the stewards a lot easier. So congratulations again, mate. And we'll see you next week.
Yes.
All good. All right, Voodoo. Yeah, Evergreen. Yep. We'll see you next Wednesday and Thursday, my friend. Voodoo, are you there to take? Yeah, are you there to take over the Pro-Am podiums there, mate?
Sure am. First up, we have Mark, and respectfully, this battle that we're going to be talking about throughout the podium interviews for the Pro-Am drivers was a very tick-for-tack battle throughout, as we saw in that closing 10 minutes. But Mark, you were involved in that battle. It was tense. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, buddy. Tell us what it was like to be in that car during that last 10-minute battle.
Oh, it was hectic. I didn't take tyres, and because last night I did take tyres and I caught up to Dask and I just couldn't get past him. So I thought, oh, tonight I'm not going to take tyres, and then the boys can try and get past me. But they had the pace on me, and I just tried to stay in front of them. Got a couple knocks here and there, but Robin's racing, so it was good fun. But oh man, now I'm sweating now.
Yeah, man, it looked absolutely intense. And next week, Nürburgring, it's going to be a tough track, and hopefully these battles continue. So we look forward to seeing you on the track
Yeah.
next week.
I won't be here for the GT3, but I will be for the Nissans. So unfortunately, that's all right.
We look forward to it
Thanks,
nonetheless.
guys.
Next up, we've got Sofa King. Respectfully, you're involved in this same battle throughout that last 10 minutes as well. And last night, I remember you finished P4 last night, and you took a P1 in Pro-Am, and you were saying you wanted to make it onto the podium here tonight. Unfortunately, it was a little bit out of that reach, not by much, but almost. But tell us about your battle involved in that final 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I made a bit of a blunder in my pit stop, so I think I had third place there to take, and I accidentally selected reverse when I came out of the pits, and then I stalled the car, so that hurt. And then I ended up in that battle, and the seas just parted in that quick little chicane for me. So I thought, nah, I'm not even going to get on the podium for this race. And then all of a sudden, the seas parted, and I got to go through, which was nice. It was an intense battle, but no, good night, good fun.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. And hopefully we see you scrape onto that podium next week. We do want to see you in the overall podium. I know that's your overall goal, and we're going to be seeing that sometime throughout this season. And hopefully next week at Nürburgring is going to give you the money.
One day, maybe.
You'll get it. You'll get it. Next up, we've got Rex taking P1 in Pro-Am and just missing out on the overall podium tonight. Tell us about your race, buddy. Not too far behind you had Sofa, so it was very tense to the line there. Tell us about your race.
Unmute your mic, Rexy.
I was going to do a bit of a Trev there, but...
I'm available. No, is he there?
Rex, do you have us, buddy?
Cam, you're going to have to answer your own question there, I think.
we might come back to.
We'll come back to Rex later. Trev, do you want to take away the pro interviews, and we'll come back to Rex?
I certainly can, as we're going to start with Simon Bishop, better known as Sidorg, for the pro class tonight. Well, this is becoming a familiar thing, back-to-back, 2 from 2. Perfect way to start the season. Simon, talk us through your race tonight.
Thanks, Trev. Yeah, it was a lot of pressure. I can't remember the last time I've had that much pressure for so long from Gavir. So it was kind of unfortunate that he ended up with the penalty, because I think it was going to be really close on pit exit. But it was good. Car handled better than the Audi did last night, and I remember to put fuel in. So, yeah, bit of redemption after yesterday.
Great work, mate. And next week, looking ahead, mate, can you make it 3 from 3 at the Nürburgring, mate? How do you go around there?
I actually hate it in Gran Turismo, but I like it in this game, so you know how it is. No, looking forward to it. Haven't actually raced there yet in this game in this kind of context, so looking forward to it.
Great work, mate. Well, congratulations tonight.
The fast version.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm looking forward to it.
Well,
pretty chaotic.
It's going to be fantastic there. Well done on the kid coins there as well, Wilco. But thank you for joining us, Simon. Certainly under a lot of pressure there in the early part of that race with the German rifle right behind you. And you managed to... He did not put a foot wrong tonight, mate, and you've made the perfect start in the opening couple of rounds. So well done.
Thank you kindly.
Great stuff. As we head to the German, one of the 2 German brothers, of course, Gavea. Mate, have you got us there loud and clear? Yep. Well, Alvita Zane, my good man. But talk us through your race, first of all, mate. You were right up there having a fantastic battle for the lead with Sidorg in the pro class early on.
Did I send it or didn't send it?
Unfortunately, there you got the drive-through penalty. And sorry, I'm getting sound effects in my ears that are very loud. But talk us through your race, mate. Mixed emotions, I'm guessing, tonight, mate, and what could have been here at Donington Park, but you still get P2 in the class in the end.
Yes, very happy with P2. It was lots of fun trying to put as much pressure as I could on Sidorg throughout the first stint. and then managed to just slip by him before I ducked into the pits. But new tires went on. Car's feeling a bit different, obviously, as it should. And then my lines through the chicane were horrible from then on. And I got 2 track cuts in a row, so that pretty much done me. But not sure if it was the wisest decision taking the tires, but no, it was a blast. Good race overall. Yeah.
And of course, looking ahead to next week, mate, of course, you're back on home soil for a bit of sauerkraut and some German Krenskis. Are you looking forward to the race there, mate? Hopefully you can go one better than this week.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I enjoy that circuit, so I'll just try to get a bit of practice in and see how we go.
Great stuff. Well, thank you, mate. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get it done tonight, mate, but you gave us a fantastic battle in the early part of the race, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Dunker would also have been acceptable there as we head across to Norm. Norm, have you got us loud and clear there?
Yeah, mate. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. And, mate, talk us through it. Podium in the end. We didn't see too much of you there, but, you had some interesting battles, mate. Talk us through what you went through in 50 minutes around Donington Park tonight.
Well, the start was pretty chaotic. After last night's drive-through off the start, I was a bit, probably a bit too cautious and got swamped. And, well, yeah, the rest is history, really, but I'm pretty stoked to get back to third.
Great stuff, mate. And podium finish tonight. Can't be unhappy with that. We head to the Nürburgring, of course. It's an interesting track. How do you think you're going to go around there?
I really like the circuit, so I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully go a couple of places better.
Great stuff, mate. Well, congratulations tonight. P3 in the end in your class, mate. And thanks for taking the time to join us and have a chat, mate. All the best for next week.
Cheers, lads.
Great stuff. There you have it. Top 3 in each of their respective classes, Pro Class, Pro-Am, and the Am class. And next week, Wilco, we're heading to the Nürburgring. Oh, there we go, Rexy. Sorry about that. And
sorry, Trev, yeah.
No, have we got Rexy there, Voodoo? I'll let you handle that one.
Yeah, Rex, do we have you by chance?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me, boys?
Oh, good. We got you loud and clear this time. So congratulations again. I'll reiterate what I said earlier. Congratulations again on taking P4 overall and P1 in Pro-Am. You did an absolute spectacular drive and, you only just held on to P4 overall. So congratulations. Tell us a little bit about your race and what you're looking forward to next week at Nürburgring.
Yeah, look, for me, I think I was lucky to finish where I did tonight. I got off the start well. But then I had a bit of a moment in I think it was turn 3, got swamped, and then I got a bit of contact coming onto the back straight. And then from there, I just settled back in. And then when I pitted, Norm and Sofa King just came at me strong. Norm got past, couldn't keep up with him. And if it wasn't for Sofa King's where he ran off the track, turn 3, I think he would have just stormed away. But I was sweating bullets at the end. I saw him coming real fast. I think if we had another lap, he would have caught me.
You did well to hold on to P4 overall and taking that Pro-Am win tonight. Definitely a good step to look forward to next week at Nürburgring. I look forward to seeing you guys all on the track again, but thank you for joining us.
Cheers. Thanks for hosting. Loving the series. It's good to be back.
Great work there, Sexy Rexy. We'll let the drivers go and go into their cool-down rooms, grab a beer, have a shower, do whatever you got to do. Thank you, Voodoo. Thank you, Wilco. Any other announcements, Wilco, on the KRL front? Or are we getting ready for a big one next week, of course, at the Nürburgring for round 3 already of this championship out of 7?
Yeah, well, tomorrow's Spider-Man Day, so that's the only thing. Other than that, other than that, yeah, we're Nürburgring next for the Enduro coming up, so that's going to be exciting. But next Wednesday, we'll catch you all then.
We said as Drex Nismo saying, have we finished? No, says Drex. You can go back and watch.
Suck my balls, mate.
Suck my balls, honey. Thank you for that, Drex. But thank you, everybody. Be kind to one another. We're going to go out with Voodoo's latest hit. And we're going to catch you next week at the Nürburgring. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you next time around. It's bye for now.
Find it playing constantly in the Sidewalk call room. Sorry.